Okay.
This gentleman flew a kit of 1988 pigeons, all young birds. They didn't score a break, but they flew very well. They flew nice and tight with the kit, very high, and I would say the kit has got potential. I like the kit as a young bird. Very nice to watch.
Thank you, Rich Park. Here's Loft with Bill and George. I'll get him up real close here. Then you can just see how ugly George is. I hope they edit that off before it gets out.
The kids fed him well while I was gone.
Better to feed them well.
Rich? Rich? Turn around before you get ready to kick them out. Tell me who you are. Give me.
Usually just right up in there. Yeah, a lot of times people sit down in there.
I think I'm going to go sit.
You're on.
Okay, Rich Farr, Sunnyside, Washington, 20 birds.
Address?
532 Ridgeway Loop, zip code 98944. 20 birds, mostly 87 and 86.
No birds for sale.
No birds for sale. I barely have enough to fly.
Okay, go for it.
Salute now.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we'll see if they come out this year.
Any birds to take out? We do.
There they go.
Display at Nampa, Idaho. 15 birds.
Okay, you ready to go?
Ready.
Let's get them out.
Pencil? Hey, Paul, you have a pencil?
Here they come.
Got two going.
We'll put them on film here, right?
Guard.
And time in the first kid in the Boise, Idaho area. There they go. Another couple. There goes a couple. There they go. There goes a couple. Pigeon flyer George is there. He is way out in the field, so he can watch these. Having a little trouble getting around the trees and things. That's Dewey DeBoer. Doc Ryman, Jerry DeGroat, Bill Barrett conferring with his clerk, Mr. Mason, Bill Ingalls, Doc Ryman again, Dewey DeVore. We just now got started. Okay, go for it.
Well, I didn't score them a break, but there was 4 pigeons up there that was very, very good performance. Not enough pigeons came together to score a half turn now. But they were some nice pigeons amongst them.
Those pitching flyers over here. Just 1 minute here. All right, tell me who you are and all about your flying, whatever. You're on. You live in okay, let's go for it. One. There we go. A little bit. There we go. There they go. I see a little bit of action.
Now, when he judges them, do they have to show proper style in order to be counted as part of the turn? Is that one of the requirements?
Well,
Pigeons were spoiled by very windy conditions. They scored 110 points.
okay, thank you, Bill. Hey, you're on.
Dewey DeVore,
Where?
Meridian, Idaho.
Okay, Dewey, you ready to go? How many birds you flying? Okay, let's go get them. Dewey, the wind is still just disastrous here. I'm going to do his kit. I'm going to get him right away because I don't think I'll see him very long. Yes, it'll pick up the wind noise. This is what pigeon fanciers look like when they're trying to find a kit of pigeons in the wind. Car just went through. There's Bill Ingalls, Dick DeBoer, Brent Martindale. That's Doc Ryman. Dewey DeBoer, Dick Rickner, George Mason, and the judge, Bill Barrett. George is pointing out where the birds are. Okay.
Unfortunately, the pigeons blown away. The 2/3 of the fly, they were completely out of sight. But they did do a little bit of work prior to the fly away. But they didn't score any points.
Okay. Thank you, Bill.
Oh, hi, Don.
Hello, Dick. Bill Husbands. Backside of Bill's house. Mr. Bradford over here. Comes our judge. He's going to walk past me. Dick and Dewey DeBoer.
That was a vegetable plot, is it?
No.
Early, not the 15th of
It's Jerry DeCrow. He's got all fancy. He'll probably end up on the ground by the time it's over. Know who you are?
Okay. I'm Bill Ingalls from the windy city of Boise, and I've decided to fly my bee kit today because of the weather conditions. And for Paul Bradford, there's a bird with an odd toenail that he ought to keep his eye on. Eagle-Eye Paul, I'm sure you can spot him up there, but it's a real goer, and I think you ought to look at it. Thank you.
Okay, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go for it, Bill.
20.
20 birds. Here they go. This is Bill Ingalls. I'm going to film him right off the bat because I don't know how long I'll get to see him. Well, Bill, I saw the hole in that one.
Should have flown the A-kit.
Yeah.
That's easy to say now.
Oh, yeah. Well, hindsight's always better than foresight. This is the first kit here that I've had to go up over my back to get him.
See the hole on that one? Bill says every time I see the hole, I get excited.
You're on film.
He was quoting some.
There they go. I didn't tell him nothing. Yep. Well, I know Bill will know. He's read them, and I've read them too, but
You got your pile of newsletters, Bill?
Don, I'm right on that. That's a DQ when that.
okay, you're ready.
Pigeons flew well considering the condition. Windy conditions was a definite handicap to them. Unfortunately, one pigeon came down before time, so it's too bad.
Okay. George, Dick Lee, Hawk Ryman, Paul Bradford, Dale Husbands, Bill Ingalls, Jerry DeGroat, Stewie DeBoer, Dick Rickner, Brent Martindale, Dick DeBoer, and there's our judge. And I'll just kind of soft. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Well, my name is Dick Ryman. Friends call me Doc. Boise, Idaho. Flying 20 birds. Stock comes mainly from Ralph Hilton, with some from Dennis Reichert and Jim Gillespie. Fencing stock.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, we'll try.
Let's go for it. Okay, that'll get them going, huh? Water will get them going every time.
Dog helps. Everything's great. You ready?
Okay.
Just a minute. Come here. I gotta make sure I get my timing here too. These guys get tired of belaboring the point. Okay, guys. I'll do it.
Here they go. They're ready. That's loft manager helping him out here. I had a pretty good picture until a hat got right in the way.
Where's your dog when you need him?
They'll probably be there this time. Okay. Start. Alright, where'd that yo-yo?
Here they go. There they go. There you go. I wanted to get a picture of Paul Bradford to show everybody that he does watch the pigeons. No, but I got one of the 87. I've got one of that, I've got the Youngbird show, and I've got everything that's been filmed so far up to date. On this fly, I've got everything that's been filmed. Probably not much of it any good, but I've got it. There we go. All right, let me see you do a flip now. Let's see if you flap them wings. Takes all kind to make pigeon flyers, Bill.
Yeah, he just happened to be the far edge.
The far side edge, Danny hit it over. Long rollers amongst them, some very deep, good solid rollers. They scored 60 points. Pleasure to do.
Albert and George looking at pigeons.
Game.
Whenever you're ready.
A, B, C, D, and E. Oh,
Brent, turn around, tell me who you are, where you live, and
I'm Brent Martindale. I live in Boise, Idaho. Flying 16 birds.
are you ready to fly them?
Yep. You guys ready? And I'm a nervous wreck.
Ah! Here they go. They can't say you didn't have one roll this year, Brent. I just saw it.
Wasn't in the timing.
No.
Sorry.
No, there's one. There it goes. There they go. Yeah. Version of the area here where these are. pigeon fanciers watching these pigeons. This is how pigeon fanciers watch pigeons. They're a little too high for me to film and get on film, so I take this advantage to show everybody.
You're in beautiful Heber Valley, Utah. Anything else you'd like?
Yeah, what's your address?
My address, 781 West, 3000 South. Come visit me anytime.
Okay, you ready to go for it?
We're ready to go.
Okay, let's go for it.
How many in this kit, Don?
15.
15, okay.
You call time when you're ready. Somebody's got that. I've got a stopwatch here, too. There they go. Well, we'll get them in a little bit. Well, we're into the first fly of. There they go. Through that one. There they go. No.
That guy knows everything. I don't know.
Well, just like that is fine. Not to be dressed, but you don't have to be well dressed. I think we can shuffle in even without. Yeah. How are your birds doing anyway? That's good. I remember when you visited us last year, you were nice, a lot like mine. So I'm very interested in your pictures.
Few. Like a pretty fair kit of pigeons here this morning.
Gotta focus the camera on the sole bird out of the kit now.
That's a loose kid that's in there. He's trying to get back.
Quit influencing the judge, Paul. I don't think you can. There we go. Good pigeon. That one I could see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Pigeons, and they flew nice and high, kitted well, but unfortunately they dropped after 12 minutes and they scored a total of 55 points.
This is
But they would be disqualified anyway.
this is Don Miller's kit. Now, let's have names as you go down. Tell me who you are.
Randy Thornton. Would you want to get in this? Tom Monson, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Go back at the Black Country.
Jim Carter, West Jordan, Utah.
Gary Dayton, Orem, Utah.
Don Miller, right here in Heber.
Eric Benson, American Fork.
Jay Starley, Sandy.
Ron Krigler, Escalante.
Joe Windsor, Canab.
Saul, that's Roller. Lance Whaley, Fort Bridger, Wyoming.
Rod Alston, Orem.
Okay, Susan, we're not going to wait much longer. You better do her.
Got one way out there behind the pen marking down something.
I'll take sections then. We'll go together.
How do you go like this? Push the thing?
That's Paul Bradford and Dale Husbands. I know them.
Where's Bill and George?
They're out here.
Are they ready to go?
Well, no. I want you to tell me who you are and where you live. and pull in the tummy.
Okay, I'm Gary Dayton. This is Orem, Utah.
Address.
884 East, 900 South in Orem, Utah. 84058.
Okay. Thank you. Well, this is the area that Gary flies in. He's going to get them in, and I'll take a picture of them. They're going out right now, and we'll watch them as they come out.
Yeah, there's still.
Gary beats him out with a stick. He's got a flag on the end of it. Let's kind of swing around the area here.
I've got it. I started when he let them out. Gary.
Okay, we're in the second kit in Provo, Utah, and Gary Dayton's kit. There they go. Gary said he's been flying about 3 years.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? The stopwatch stopped for 3 seconds.
There go.
Can't see nothing.
There they go. Oh, he's got some good pigeons. There you go. The black, right one. Pigeons.
So this kid was a nice kid of pigeons, very active. A couple of they're very decent pigeons, real champion rollers amongst them. But unfortunately, his chances were spoiled by two pigeons leaving the kit early and never ever getting back to the kit. He scored 60 points.
Canab, Utah. I was raised in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I started raising pigeons about 12 years old.
How many are you flying?
I just started this portable cage about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been flying it at my home in Canab for the last year. These birds here.
Okay, if the judges are ready, let's get them out. If you're ready.
Judges ready?
Portable kit here. We're down here at the mall in the parking lot, and this is where he's going to fly them out of. The kit is up and in the air.
This kid of pigeons was flown out of his way from the career. It's my first experience of seeing pigeons flown out of this situation. I'd like to congratulate the fellow having sufficient confidence in the pigeons, being still the ball for our benefit. Unfortunately, the pigeons got up to the noise of the kid to get the ball, and I just let it out. After 7 minutes, I just let it out the door. We haven't seen him. I hope he gets some back. He deserves that.
Thank you, Bill. This is the area that I believe this is Eric's place. This is beautiful Utah country.
Yeah, they're already out in the mountains now.
Tell me this is Eric Spencer. Okay, I'm ready. You tell me who you are and where you live. Address.
Benson, 384 West, 300 North, American Ford, 84003.
You ready to fly these?
I'm ready to fly.
And you're not nervous? Okay, let's go for it. How many birds you flying, Eric? 20. And they're out.
All that baby.
Okay, we'll get.
What can you do about anything about that, Don?
Not if it ain't in the kit. If it joins the kit, I don't know what they'll do. There they go a little bit. There they go.
Yeah, I've been helping Eric out a lot with these birds.
Mm-hmm.
Because he raised enough last year where, you know, and plus he's got a lot of those birds are almost 2 years old. But like you said, you know, they've just been put together about 2 weeks ago, so they really haven't had time to really know each other and
Right.
stuff, and really can count on what's going to do what, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see what you see. You know, as soon as they will turn direction, the birds can't break.
There they go. Made
Yeah.
a good turn.
There was a nice turn. Why couldn't they do that earlier? Why couldn't?
Okay, go for it.
Take it, the pigeons. They flew very well as a kit. They only did one break. That was a bit stiff, but there was some good individuals amongst all. They scored 55 points.
Bjorn, where you live?
On? Okay, Jay Starley, Sandy, Utah. Want the address?
Sure.
827 East, Pepperell Circle.
Zip code.
84070.
Okay, are you ready to go? Yeah, if I need it. Are you a little nervous? I'm going to send it to the IRS.
Better have your phone number on there.
Smile.
Okay, Jay, go for it.
Smile of confidence. Okay, here we go.
Here's his kit of pigeons. Okay, let's see the Starley's kit. Good bird.
Okay, let's go. Now.
There we go. Good pigeon. Okay, head and shoulders perfectly. Go for it.
This gentleman threw a very, very good kit of pigeons. Unfortunately, they were handicapped by a pigeon coming down early. It was very unfortunate. Very, very good.
Okay, Chip, are you ready?
Okay, I'm Chip Carter, West Jordan, Utah, 5029 Muirkirk Road, 84088. And hopefully we'll do it and we'll find out.
Are you nervous?
Nothing to be nervous about. Like I said before, I know about it.
Okay, go for it, Chip.
I've got everybody paid off already.
Yeah, I haven't seen you give the judge any.
I slipped secretly.
That's secret, okay. How many birds you flying, Chip?
How many, Chip?
How many birds you got up, Chip?
18.
18. Okay, they're in the air. Time in. There you go. Okay, this is Chip Carter's kit. Hold him here as close as I can get him. There you go. Alright, one.
Oh, you'd be ready to be a journeyman with that camera.
Oh, I think I'll be an expert. I don't know what the pictures look like, though. I haven't looked at too many of them yet. I looked at a few at the first.
Coming out all right?
Pretty good, all except the winning kid. I goofed on them so far, so nobody can see them, you know. Come, good pigeon. Couple, 3 of them at that time. Jay told me he was going to get above everybody else in this fly, and he's doing it right there. I mean, not Jay, that's Chip.
Chip, yeah. So he'd be head and shoulders above the rest.
Chip, is that the way you're getting head and shoulders above everybody?
Anyway, the break of the pigeon, they were nice and high, but unfortunately the one pigeon kept flying wide. Every time it rolled, it turned out of the kid, turned to the kid. They did come out and 15 points.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm Norm Drexel. I live at 626 South Redwood Road, Salt Lake City. I'm flying a kid of 16 birds.
which I've had 35 years breeding into this family of birds.
Well, I know you're not nervous if you've flown that many years, so you ready to get them out?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Let's go for it.
All right.
Okay, Norm.
Yeah, that's cool. We can't get over that. We can't get over nothing. Gotta learn to roll the punches, huh, Don?
You got it. I try to dodge them if possible, Don.
Yeah, it's better to dodge them than roll with them, isn't it?
Yeah. Here they go. I don't like filming into the sun, but I can't help it. I gotta film what I can get. Can we leave in the morning? Shut up.
I look respectable. You don't even have a shave this morning.
I
Not talking to him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. When they're talking to him,
oh, yeah.
we'll have a kid to them when we get married. I think everybody's got at least one. One pigeon flying very high.
Nope. Never met the gentleman before. Pretty birds.
For yours, somewhere around here, Joe, they could be up here, but now I know why you said let's get them further away from your place. I have no idea what you were getting at.
They'll probably live at your house.
I always thought that, they just
They'll get lost and go into your field. The only thing that's hard for that away from everything else.
I got that one, George.
you got one before, the red checker ball.
Uh-huh.
The easier you can make it to your bird, just take a spray can of paint and put your red X on it. Yeah. You could even have your little windsock on a piece of cardboard, stick it up on the, in the truck. Well, just something that will fit your truck you carry with you, that's what. You can buy one of those little windsocks. Usually there's enough breeze that it'll hold it up a little bit.
I came back that night. Came back the next morning. They were on the house. Just getting my eggs.
The other thing, I'll be saying this on, I'll fit them before. The other person said,
Okay, let's go for it.
the pigeons unfortunately spawned by one pigeon coming down early. I didn't score the
Thank. Good. We're at Mr. Paul Bradford's house. Well-known old-time pigeon fancier. This is where Paul flies out of. You ready to tell me who you are? Hey, turn around here and tell me who you are.
Paul Bradford,
What address?
Salt Lake City.
Okay, they're out. I can tell you're nervous too, Paul.
All of these are champions. So we get.
This is a sign that's right over Paul Bradford's house. Right there's the freeway. Paul flies freeway rollers.
Sure makes your job easy, doesn't it?
Paul's young bird's there. House of Tom Mason. Munson.
And you know, having hundreds of people see the video.
Okay,
You know?
you ready?
Tom Mason is here. Here we're gonna. Tom Munson. I keep calling him Mason. Okay, here comes one out of the kit. Whoops, that was Tom.
I'm Tom Monson from Salt Lake City. My address is in the directories. But I had 20, but I'm going to pull out 3 that I'm not sure of, and we're going to fly 17.
Okay, are you ready to go?
I guess so. Is everybody ready?
Okay, go for it.
Where will I fly, Tom? Yeah, the best.
I think the best place.
I've been known to.
Part Gillespie and part Bradford. From that lavender hen of yours years ago, Paul.
Gillespie's over in Boise.
Yeah.
I heard the name, but I haven't met him.
Bill Schreiber bird, he kept right on coming right here. Yeah.
Now be careful. You're talking about my friend.
When they do up there, they come all the way down so you can catch them.
Just to see if you're alert, huh?
Yeah. That one.
Sure hanging tight
Just a minute. Okay, Mr. Barrett.
Went very well as a kit. Had a lovely wing action, but unfortunately, no more than 3 or 4 came at any one particular time. And I didn't score a break.
Thank you, Bill. Olson, Montana. Chicken. Get dogs in here. This is the area. That's travel coach. Trailer. Let me just scan the area a little bit. Nice flat country.
Give me a high sign.
Okay, go for it.
Hi, my name's Rick Shaning, and you're here in Folsom, Montana. I'm going to put up 16 birds for you today. see how they do. And, I've been flying pigeons for close to 20 years. I still don't have a handle on it. The last 3 or 4 years, I think I might have a handle on it, but time will tell. So I think this is a good thing we're doing, and all I can do is benefit the hobby. So with that, we're going to fly some pigeons.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Go for it. Okay, go for it.
Terry Pitts. I live down in Dixon, about 40 miles from here. I raised birds since '63, and then about 5 years ago, I got out of them. Not my choice, but anyway. And then Rick moved into Montana here, and I was able to get in good birds. Hopefully, this is great.
Thank you.
Bunch of time in. Time, Bill.
Birds are in the air. We call time in, and here we go. On the only flyer that's going to fly in Polson, Montana. Oh. That was one of Rick's stock cocks you just heard there. That was a cock bird. There you go. I think Rick's trying to train these pigeons that every time a rooster crows, the pigeons roll. It ain't working, Rick. Rick was our judge last year. Alan Hunt's house. This is Stuart Lemon, an old friend of Lloyd Thompson's. Lloyd Thompson, George Mason, Alan Hunt. Monty Niebel, all dressed up. You wouldn't believe him. He looks like a king. Brian Krog. Right behind him is Mr. Barrett. He now has a PRA hat on, Performing Roller Association. You live, give me your address. I'll get everything on this recorder.
All right, it's Al Hunt, Lumbee, box 472, or 427, pardon me, 427. And we're about 1 mile south of town. Lumbee is 16 miles east of Vernon on Highway 97. We'll put them out and see what happens.
Okay, how many birds you fly now?
17.
17. Okay, let's get them out.
They'll probably land on the roof there, birds.
This is Al's kit loft. They're out. These are Alan's birds. No, you won't.
Problem I had, trying to figure
Well, the pigeons never got together, and they didn't fire as a kit. And 2 pigeons came down early and spoiled his chances. They didn't score a break.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Tell me who you are, where you live, your address, and everything.
Brian Crow, Lumbee, BC, hoping something good happens.
Okay, how many birds you flying, Brian?
I believe there's 18, and I'm going to take a few minutes to take some ribbons off because I only was finding out who was who. Some of them have ribbons on their tails.
Okay.
I'll do that first.
You go for it.
Someone else we heard the other day. They can't do much. It's very serious.
Right.
You got to do it when you're young, and it's quite a chance that it could be worse. so close to the brain here town. This is the first time I've been there. You moved last
Yeah,
September, October.
right. This is
I don't know if I can find it myself or not.
right, that's for sure. This is Brian Krog's place. This is the area he flies out of. Don't move quite so fast, Al. I'll get you in the picture.
Who's that handsome gentleman?
Here we go.
Horses are moving. You got time, money? Brian Krog's Pigeon. There one.
You've got 1 minute, Brian.
There are some good birds. I see a couple going. There we go.
Cataracts. Following Monty's head where he turns. Oh, I see them. I see them. Yeah, they got to down.
Okay, go for it.
Some very good individual rollers in this kit. I was very pleased with some of the pigeons. They were very, very good, very, very deep, very, very tight. His chances were spoiled by a couple of pigeons continuing flying wide, and one did come down before time. But I'd like to thank those responsible for inviting me over here to judge this flight for you, for giving me the opportunity of meeting all you wonderful people and having a very enjoyable time. We've had a great time. I think the flight has been a very big success, and on this situation, I would like to say a very big thank you to Don Lehman, who's done a fantastic job. I only hope you people appreciate his efforts, because he's done a marvellous job over the last 3 weeks. We've driven approximately nearly 4,000 miles, which is really takes some doing. And to him and his lovely wife Bonnie, I say thank you very much for their company and what they did to help us to make this flight such a success. There's a few comments I'd like to make on the flight. First of all, I'll give the list of the leading positions. Mr. Steve Hinman is in the leading position. He takes first place with 290 points. Max Ronion, he is second with 285 points. John McHugh is third with 225 points. Rick Showing, or however you might pronounce it, Shaning, is 195 points, and Monty Newbold 175 points. I will eventually be issuing a list of all the competitors, and a notification will be sent out to the coordinators of my comments on each individual kit and what I thought of them at the time. And to say we've had a fantastic time is just putting it mildly, because it's been marvellous. We're going home this morning, and we will take with us some very happy memories of some wonderful people. Yeah, that's George speaking about. Don't rattle the paper, George. What was I going to say? I don't think there's any more to add on the flight itself. Now, we haven't seen many breaks, what we call half breaks, worthy of a turn. Some people have commented while we've been judging that what they interpreted as a half turn. From my point of view, and I'm looking back on 45 years of experience on roller flying, there was a lot of movement within the kit, but the actual pigeons performing was the minimum, and they weren't doing a scoring break. However, I would like to say, individually, you've got some very good pigeons over here. Every bit as good as those we have in England. There's no question about that whatsoever. If I've got to make any criticism at all, I think you don't work as hard with your pigeons as we people do in England. Maybe you've got so many other distractions, I don't know. But if you work as hard with your pigeons as some of the English fanciers, you would have collective performance that would be worthy of good flying competition. Thank you.
George, you have anything to add to this before I ask some questions?
No, that's the questions done. I agree with everything Bill said.
Thank you. We've got some questions that some of the people around would like to have you answer, Bill, and also you, George, and I'll address each one of you and ask you the question. One thing that one of them said was you had an almond in your kit pen, Bill. Are you breeding almonds?
Well, that's true. There is an almond in my kit. That pigeon wasn't bred by me. It was not of my family of pigeons. There is no yellows or almonds in Bill Ballott's family of pigeons. But like everywhere else, we have colour breeders in England. And these people tell you how good these coloured pigeons are. Now, I'm not a person that likes to be told. I like to be shown. Now, this situation came about by a fella in Willenhall, that's in the Black Country, got some beautiful coloured pigeons. And he said that his coloured yellow marked pigeons and almond pigeons could roll every bit as good as my pigeon. And I said, okay, breed me a good one, I'll fly it. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to it before you start. It's either going to be a straight back pigeon with no performance, or it's going to eventually roll down. That pigeon, within 6 weeks of him appearing on that video, rolled down. He didn't kill itself because he rolled like a bag of muck, and I just had to kill it because he was a disgrace. And he would never have killed himself, he didn't bow tie to him. But he would never stay in the air for more than 2 minutes at a time.
Another question asked was, how can you tell which is the lead bird in your kit?
Well, I think the lead bird varies from day to day. You'll probably find that if you're looking for your lead bird, he's there. But it's a matter of identification, and you must try and identify the bird that's leading your kit. All packs, pigeon kits is no more than a pack. All packs have a leader. If the leader is good, the pigeons respond accordingly. If the leader is bad, again, you'll get bad performance. But identification of the leader is a matter of consistently watching your pigeons and knowing what's going on within the kit. Maybe it's necessary to mark some pigeons just to identify the true leader of the kit. But there's a leader in every kit.
Okay, they would like you to explain the kit rules in England and why. A little bit about them.
Well, it doesn't matter about it. We have 3 different sections of flying competitions in England. We've got the Midland Roller Pigeon Club, which you fly a team of 20. A team of 20 birds must fly for 20 minutes. One pigeon dropping out will result in disqualification of the whole kit. You score when 5 or more pigeons break together. And you score in accordance with numbers. In as much as if 5 pigeons roll together, you score 5 points. If 6 pigeons roll together, you score 6 points. Consequently, for every bird that rolls, you get 1 point, from a minimum up to 20. In addition, you get 30 points for merit. A judge takes these merit points into consideration by virtue of watching the kit over the period of 20 minutes and assessing how he values the particular individual performance. If he thinks the performance is very, very deep, very active and very tight, then he'll give a maximum of merit points. And if the kits, although the birds must roll correctly to score, if the pigeons are a little bit seldom and they don't roll too deep, then obviously the merit points are down. We have additional 20 points for kitting. We don't have no disqualification or suspension of judging if pigeon is flying wide. But these situations are taken into consideration at the end of the flight, and the judge is allowed up to a maximum of 20 points per kitten. In the All England, they do it a little bit differently. They do quarter turns, half turns, three-quarter and full turn. But again, they have a merit system and a kitting system. And also, in the All England, the kit is not penalised if a pigeon rolls or comes down. It's not penalised whereby the whole kit is disqualified, but there is a penalty point of about 100 points for every pigeon that comes down before 15 minutes of flight duration. Any pigeon that comes down, rolls down or lands after 15 minutes, bearing in mind the flying time is for 20 minutes, then there's no penalty points after the pigeon has flown. And then we've got the national rules, which is primarily the same as the All England rules, where we score quarter, half, three-quarter and full turns. If a pigeon rolls down during the 15 minutes flight period, he is penalised 20 points. But if that same pigeon lands, then the whole kit is disqualified.
Okay, it says one person said here, you said last night that you won't even consider a bird until it's a year old and 2 years old for a stock bird. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, he hasn't put it exactly right, but let me explain. Usually I have plenty of pigeons to choose from and I mate up my birds. But I like to fly a kit of pigeons all the year round. My 1987 kit, for example, will be flown through 1988 through to 1989, where then I will select the birds, not for stock, but for breeding purposes. I never stock any birds. I only pen my birds up when I'm breeding up them. And only on very rare occasions would I mate up a bird less than 2 years old. If a 1 year old pigeon got a little bit of excellence or brilliance, then I might mate him up around about June time and have a pair of young spread. Other than that, primarily my breeders are 2 years old and more. And after the breeding season, they're taken out of the breeding slot and flown again.
Something more, if you would add to that, is you do not have hawk problem in England as yet.
Definitely not. You have my sympathy over here. You do have hawk and falcon problem. Thankfully, at the moment, we don't have these in our parts of the world. Although in certain parts of England, the peregrine falcon has been a terrible hazard, where it's taken whole kits of tippler pigeons, although they only fly in fewer numbers, obviously.
Right. Therefore, you don't have to worry too much about losing a stock bird if you fly.
We don't. No.
Okay. How do you compare the quality which England flew 40 years and what they fly today?
Well, I've been asked that many times. Well, as you're aware, in 1966, I was able to come over and visit my pal Bill Penson. Bill Penson and I were pals from 1943 until his untimely death in 1968. During that period, Bill and I often discussed and talked about the progress the pigeons had made the rollers have made in the preceding 20 years. I'm sure if he was around today, and it's now 20 years since he passed away, I feel sure that we'd be very, very happy with the progress that we've made over the last 20 years. I do know that there are more good fanciers in England now than what there was 20 years ago, and there are more outstanding pigeons in England.
Okay, being you mentioned Bill Penson a little bit, it says, would you explain a few of your personal experiences with Bill?
Well, I don't know. Bill was a fantastic boy. I worshipped the man. He was, to me, he was God. As a person, he was a great man, wonderful man, fun to be with, loved to laugh and a joke. And he also played the banjo. And he was a great entertainer, a wonderful talker, and a great person. It was a severe blow to me when he passed away in 1968. He was just great. And I would like to, they say about personal things with Bill. Bill liked to joke. And one of his favourite jokes was, around about 1930s, in the Black Country, they opened what they called Dudley Zoo. This was the first zoo to be opened in the Midlands. And of course, it was a new thing in the black country, and everybody liked to go to Dudley Zoo to see all the animals. Well, one pigeon fancier was talked into going to Dudley Zoo by his wife. Well, this pigeon fancier and his wife was walking around the zoo, and they came to the cage where the gorillas were kept. And there was a gorilla sat just inside the cage, and he was asleep. So this pigeon fancier's wife, she got her umbrella, and she started poking this gorilla to wake him up. Eventually the gorilla woke up, stood up, looked through the cage, put his hand through the cage, and in one mad grab, he grabbed this pigeon fancier's wife, and he dragged her into the cage. This woman was shouting, help, 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 you know, but the pigeon fancier didn't know what to do. All of a sudden, the woman shouted, help, help me quick, the gorilla's trying to have sex with me. And the pigeon fancier's wife said, tell him you've got one of your sick headaches. That was Bill's favourite story.
Okay, I'm going to get to George a little bit. I see George has got his favorite watch on. He's got a Coca-Cola watch that he bought here in this country, and but
Just got back from fishing with Monty.
yeah, I just got back from fishing with Monty. You mentioned a lot about our management here. What would you do different if you were in our place?
Well, the most difficult thing you've got here are the birds of prey. I couldn't do anything about that if I lived in America, nothing at all. You have a lot of problem with birds flying out of the kit. That's definitely management. That's nothing at all to do with birds of prey. And what you've got to do when you're first training the birds, don't give them so many chances flying wide of the kit. Take them out and kill them, or rest them for a time and then start flying them again. But that's about all I can tell you about the management, really.
Okay, in the other tape, the tape that Rick Shaning made, you said that Bob Brown manages his pigeons, but nobody else can do the job that he does. You want to explain a little bit about that?
Well, I think Bob Brown is, without doubt, the best roller flyer in England. Bob Brown and Bill Barrett, the two of them, are really good at getting pigeons ready for the fly on the day. Bob will get a kit of pigeons ready for competition. 9 times out of 10 he'll have them right. Bill will have them 8 times out of 10. Myself and the rest of the lads that fly a decent team, probably 5 times out of 10. And why Bob does it, I don't know. Why other people can't fly his pigeons. A lot of people in England have had Bob's pigeons. They've probably only bought half a dozen, some have bought a kit of 20. But nobody in England that I know flies a full kit of Bob's pigeons. Probably one of the reasons being, Bob's mainly a young bird flyer. He's won most of his trophies as young birds. And I think he breeds about 100 pigeons every year. And possibly a lot of the people that have bought his pigeons don't breed that amount. So the reason that he does so well, apart from his management, is the fact that he breeds 100 of his pigeons and other people don't breed so many of them. But without a doubt, he's a brilliant flyer.
Okay, after you pick a kit of pigeons for competition, how long can you keep them there?
I can keep them there. When I go back now, it'll take me about 6 weeks to get my pigeons ready for competition. And they'll be like that and then till December. They'll vary in the amount of performance I'm getting out of them. I can't get a kit of pigeons that will perform exactly right on the day. That's Bob Brown and Bill Barrett do it more often than I do. They get them right more often on the day than I do. I can always show you a reasonable kit of pigeons once I get them in competition condition, right up until Christmas. 2 kits of old birds, I can fly 2 kits of old birds at any time and show you good performance. It's not always the amount of performance, it's not always as collective as I would like it, but I do fairly well with them anyway.
Okay, I know you and I had a little talk about a newcomer starting in the trade, into the fancy, and you said you would go around and pick 6 birds out of the air, the best 6 birds you could find anywhere. Go ahead, would you explain what we discussed on that?
Yeah, well, if you were a newcomer into the sport, really I was thinking more on the lines of somebody that had probably had pigeons for 5 or 6 years. A newcomer into the sport, to take it, you wouldn't know a good one if you saw it anyway. So, but somebody that's been in it 5 or 6 years, that's doing no good at all and not winning anything. If I was them, I would go around America, go around as many pigeon flyers as you can, the top pigeon flyers, those that are winning competitions, and if I could find 6 or even 5, 2 good cocks and 4 good hens, I'd just buy those, and I'd work around those 6 pigeons. Even if you can't afford that, they always say that the best birds aren't for sale, but if you're prepared to pay the money, everything's for sale. And I would buy the best cock I could possibly buy, and say 3 hens, the 4 pigeons, and I would breed after those. And the first year, I would get as many youngsters as I could out of them, and I wouldn't fly them at all, none of them. And then the following year, I would pair, if I could get these 3 hens and 1 cock, I would have a lot of half brothers, half sisters. I would pair them all together the second year and breed as many young birds as I can, and then fly them and pick the best out of those, and I'd work a family around them. That way that's the shortest way of getting a good kid pigeon, the fastest way. Go around and buy the best.
Okay. Bill, would you like to say a little bit about Skidmore and Richards, how they selected their stock birds? Somebody.
Well, Skidmore, I knew Skidmore from 1943 to 1955. But Richards, I didn't know him. He was dead before my time. So was Belfield. Skidmore was a fantastic flier pigeon. As a breeder, he didn't produce many pigeons a year. His pigeons used to seem to linger on, and used to have a lot of little pigeons walking around that Will Portman and I had christened little old men. These pigeons were stunted growth, and they never really matured till they were about 2 months old. They didn't fly until they were 2 months old. And by virtue of Jim's bad breeding program, his pigeons were fed in accordance with the old black country methods. They were kept in a darkened loft, and his breeders was fed once a day. And at one time, Jim used to fly his breeders. He'd go into the breeders' loft at night after coming from work. He would check his hens to make sure there's no hens in egg, and he would fly them. And when about 1953, Jim had a fantastic breeding season. He bred 20 youngsters, and he couldn't understand it. The fact that Jim was on the sick list, he was away from work and he was sick. He would go down to the loft every morning, loose the pigeons out, and he'd let them check around the garden. He'd sit down the garden with them all day. These pigeons were scavenging their living off the gardens, going back and feeding the youngsters. And Wilf and I could see the reason for Jim breeding so many youngsters he wanted to do, and have good quality too. But Jim just couldn't grasp it. But as a pigeon flyer, Jim was in a class of his own. In 1948, Jim Skidmore flew for me a kit of 18 pigeons. That's the first and best full term I have ever seen in my life. But on that day in 1948. And I remember that till the dying day. Because the pigeons, they were flying the figure 8 pattern in the air. They weren't flying too high. And as they changed from right wing to left wing, they just momentarily stood still. And the lot came. And they just came, and you could just watch them in as much as a second before that full term was completed. It's absolutely marvellous. Now, Richards and Bill Penson was very good friends. If anybody could get the pigeons off Bill Richards, then it was Bill Penson. So I always like to believe. And I don't know, Bill had a lot of pigeons off Richards. Belfield was Skidmore's friend. And Belfield, over the years, let Jim take pigeons that was off his best birds. Now, Belfield, they had a pub, or a tavern as you might call it in your part of the world. And they used to brew their own beer. The Belfields brewed their own beer. Now, on one occasion, Jim went across to see Harry Belfield one Saturday morning, had a fly with the pigeons, and as he was coming out of the tavern or the public house, Harry Belfield's wife called to Jim and asked him if he would like a beef sandwich to eat. Jim said, yes, I'd like a beef sandwich, but I'll have to take it with me because I've got to go over the road and get my bus to get back into Blackheath. So Jim walks across the road to the bus stop, eating a beef sandwich. There was a woman at the bus stop with a dog. The dog kept on jumping up to Jim. You know. Jim said to the lady, he said, madam, he said, your dog keeps jumping up on my clothes. And the lady said, I think he wants a bit of your sandwich. Jim said, well, do you mind if I throw him a bit? And the lady said, oh no, he'd like that. So Jim picked the dog up and threw it across the street.
I say,
Well,
Don,
yes.
Just before you finish, when you're on about what to do to the management side of it, one of the things, I said I couldn't do anything about the birds of prey. The birds flying wide of the kit, you can do something about that because all you do is take them out as they start. or kill them, whatever.
They're a bit short
But the other problem you have is with overflies. From what I can see about America and Canada, you get a lot of thermals that take the birds up. And what I would do, I would train them birds to the dropper. Right from babies, I would train them to come to the pen when you put the white dropper in. But to train a kit of birds to a dropper takes you about a week. But after that, you must never let the birds drop on the pen without the droppers there first. And I think when you have your birds on those days when they're really flying high and you're having a job to get them down, if they were trained to a dropper, you wouldn't lose so many kits. Plus, have them birds walking about the top of the pen as babies. After you've flown them, let them out when it's just dropping, when the light's just changing, and put lights on your pen and train your birds like we do tipplers so that they will drop with lights on the pen. I often drop my birds, as Bill will tell you, my old birds, I can drop them in pitch black. I can drop all 20 birds in pitch black. I don't do it intentionally, but there's times when I let them out too late to show somebody what they're doing, and they're flying to the dark, and I can drop them with the lights on and the droppers. And I think you would save a lot of birds from overflying.
Okay, I want to take this opportunity to thank you two for a wonderful vacation.
We'd like to thank you, Don, because
You're doing a great job, mate.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
I'll add a little more on this later, but these gentlemen. Hi, I'm Don Lehman. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of my wife, Bonnie, and myself to thank all the great fanciers and their wives for the hospitality shown our guests from England. Hopefully we can return the hospitality to any and all who have participated in this great event. Also, my thanks to all the coordinators who, without their help, my job would have been impossible. Also, thanks to Jim Schneider and Leonard Cahoot for the use of the VCR cameras to film this largest competition fly to take place with 44 contestants and over 4,200 miles of some of the most beautiful part of the United States and Canada. Thanks to Bill Barrett and George Mason for the judging of the fly. I think they did a wonderful job everywhere except at my house. That's normal. Everybody thinks the same thing. Thanks to Pat, Olive, and Bonnie for traveling along and being pushed aside when we were out watching all the good kits of pigeons and excellent performance and everything. And taking a back seat and for the wives who took them around on the different things that they did. Also to our English friends for a wonderful vacation that we will remember for the rest of our lives. And as Bill Barrett would say, thank you very much.
Well, on behalf of Pat and myself, we would like to offer a sincere thank you to all the wonderful people who received us here. And all the lovely ladies who have given us the sort of time we shall remember for the rest of our days. Mere words seem inadequate, but I'm sure you will understand. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Ollie.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you to Bonnie and Donnie. It's been wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you, too.
Lucky to have it. Jesus, we got the best.
You have to take the cap off before you start recording.
Well, you can't see through it anyway.
Not too well. No. Now, John, your name is John Weems?
Oh, no. John, yeah.
Turn around 1 minute, John.
George!
This is John. That's George Mason. That's the old redhead Monty Nebo right there. And let's see. Now, one of these gentlemen's name is Eric.
That's Eric. Hello.
And your name was what again?
Ben.
Ben.
I'm the old gentleman.
You're the old gentleman. And, well, this is the old gentleman. Wherever I find him. This
that makes me feel young.
That makes you. This is Mr. Barrett.
Pleased to meet you.
He's going to be the judge of this thing, and he's probably so close that we won't get him. But then we'll take a chance on it anyhow.
Is that your personal property?
No.
You bought it.
Try to find that kit, and we'll see what they do. I'll film a little bit of them. There went one. I got that too, by golly. I'm not very good at this. It's my my second attempt at filming pigeons. There went one. There went another one. There went another one. I missed him.
They're strong.
Probably too high to get anything on them, but I'm going to watch them a little bit anyhow. This is John Weems' kit, and he's not competing.
I wonder if that blue is that blue gonna, is he flying?
I don't think so.
Was he?
There went a pretty good one. There went another pretty good one.
No. No, I think he went back to Calgary or yesterday. I talked to him on the phone.
There, we got a pretty good break out of them. It's a little bit windy up here this morning, and Monty has decided not to fly yet. That was a pretty good one.
So these fly pins for stock birds here.
Well, most of the birds I got were Elmer Davis and Chris Ryder.
This is the young birds. Setting them out here just to get them roof trained. Nice looking birds here. And breeding loss inside here.
Blue bar, white
Oh, remember.
Byron's favorite guy. That looks like one of Clint's first lessons. And Dave Stone brought it. Oh yeah. It's going about 15, 20 feet, but he's not with a group of birds where he shows stuff.
Here's some more of the breeding pens here. Close up of some of the birds.
I wish I had that old bird kit I had going here. That's not as many things right here.
I've been a lot of these birds from the Elmer Davis strain that you had.
Yeah. Yeah, the red grizzle cocks in there are all from the Elmer Davis stuff. Else it has, okay. When I train in birds, the bobs go back up. That's where those hooks are there. And they go out through there, and they're on the roof.
Okay, they go out.
They go out through there. They don't fly, though. They get right up on the roof.
Right.
Then I flag them. They're all together.
Oh, then you flag them.
Otherwise, the other system I used,
gotta open that door down and flag them straight out. That way you get 20 birds or 15 or whatever. I've had it before where you go and try to, you're in a hurry, you try to get them all out and flush them out. You know, 1 or 2 birds sitting on a perch way in the back.
Right, and
And
they're
it's
lagging.
It's killed me on point.
What's that blue bar out of that came down from Clint's up there? Did he
2
tell you?
birds. Yeah, 2 birds, 2 pigeons.
Male and
I don't know. I have no idea, Byron.
Okay.
Don't have any idea what it sounds like. All I know.
Boy, he's got a good eye, don't he?
Oh yeah, he's really. I picked that one out for Dave out of the kit, but see the bird was in it.
Place and stables for his horses. This is a real nice place he's got here. It's been real enjoyable visiting him while we're down here for the Northwest Invitational roller fly off. He's got a real nice place here, and he's flying a short kit today. Nice little break there. I'm shooting into the sun, so I hope this.
Gene's got his head right in his
Some nice birds working here at Randy's.
Only read about 2 things about that whole bunch.
I'm the champion of each. And then it was going to a right to that district. Judge the champion.
Those are some of mine too.
White flag
when he's losing on the end. Southern fly and a northern fly. There's a white color pigeon that's really spinning. There's a white one that's from Leonard, little 10-footer. That's from Leonard. That's some stands.
My name is Douglas Willett. I've been flying pigeons since 1968, and I've been a member of the MBRC for 9 years, and it's an enjoyable club. I've seen a lot of changes in the MBRC, and a few years ago, my brothers and I formed a new club, the PRA, and the PRA is dedicated to the positive promotion of flying rollers. I've done several videotapes of my own. I started back in 1981, and I've covered a lot of different lofts, a lot of different people. I saw a lot of different faces. Again, we're just for the positive promotion. We don't promote one particular fancy birds, but everybody's. And in 1988, we're going to have a convention. It'll be our 3rd convention. It'll be held in Sacramento, California, and we'd like to see you all there. If you're interested in showing up, we'll probably have David Kowalski judging the flies and the show display. Get a hold of my brother Dan. He's at 231 Turtle Lane in Grants Pass, Oregon. His phone number is 503-479-4004. And we'd like to see all of you there, and it'll be a great, great show. We're expecting over 200 people for this one, so it'll be an extremely large gathering of roller people. And it should go pretty good, and hope to see you there.
Can't figure out who's got the most. There's more video cameras around here than there is in Hollywood. Picture of we have Bill Barrett here from England, Al Luna from Phoenix, Arizona, Dave Goss from California. Swing around here, we have there's George Mason. George, say hi to them folks. George, say hi to them folks. And George, say hi to them folks. George from England. Swing around here, and this is Les. Keep some golden pheasants over here. Extra kit boxes. Picture of Ted video camera. I tell you, there's more video cameras here than there are in Hollywood. Hi, Norm. Norm's from Southern California. Come up to visit for the Northwest International Fly. Al.
Video camera. Yeah. Empty-handed, you know. I got my hand in my pocket. I feel bad.
So.
Thought it was a roller convention. It was a video camera convention.
Getting ready. I'll shut it off now. We're getting ready. Ted 1 from Denver. Les is going to fly 16 birds today. Dave Goss, Bill Barrett talking to Les.
Oh, well, I've got here, Les made Bill. Les Billiard.
You want the address? 22011, 186th Avenue, Southeast Renton.
There's some more kit loss. I don't know which one he's going to fly out of.
California. Swing around here. We have, there's George Mason. George? Say hi to the folks. George from England.
They're getting ready to judge here.
Golden pheasants over here. Extra kit boxes.
George, they're talking about, they're getting ready to fly here in a minute. That's Les.
Hang tight.
They were just
let it go
looking
in.
at their
We're not
birds
that big a hurry.
left one of them out.
Hang tight and let that one go in if you can get it.
I don't want to lose by default.
The flying mainly come from Dave Goss. So Dave's standing right next to you, and he's praying along with me. So we ready to turn them loose?
Let's go for it.
George, can you come over and take the kids?
If they don't come off the ground, you got the wrong
Here they go.
Here they
my
come
buddy
out.
Les.
There's 16 of them.
Really?
You want of mine? Throw it at him.
Hit it.
Throw it up there.
Right over in that corner.
Go on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that ain't one of the young ones. Yeah, that's bad, yeah. My friend Sarah, yeah, send us a friend. I'm gonna.
George and
I've
Bill
already
came to
decided
judge
now.
the
I'm gonna hire-
international
I'm
fly.
not gonna hire him.
This
I'm
is
gonna do
the
what
second
Bill and
day of
George
it,
like
or actually
Bill,
third
my
day
dad
of it.
California, Bill Pearson. I told him, come on over. I'll teach you.
That's George's wife and Bill's girlfriend. His wife passed away.
You're short of there, cool.
Okay, stand still.
Merlin Ness.
Good, good, okay.
I know that.
Jordan, can you take a picture of Bill? It's really easy. Come on up closer.
And he wants to
Stand right about there.
Yeah.
That's what these
On the X.
calls.
I get a whole kit doing that.